Hello, good evening, students. Yesterday we have gone through lecture on advantages and disadvantages of ring spinning versus the other alternative spinning methods. So today we are going to go a little much deeper into the open end spinning concept. So it's going to be a very short lecture, maybe of say 10-15 minutes, and after that I will take your questions on Google Meet. So we had yesterday stopped here on this particular table where I had told you that we need to understand each and every process that has been written down here one by one. So out of that we are going to cover the first process group today, which is called as an open end. And under open end it is again classified into rotor, electrostatics, friction, disc and air vortex spinning, which we will of course go one by one as we proceed into the lectures. Today we will just try to understand the open end concept. There is an underlying concept which is common to all these 5 processes which are given here. We are just going to understand the background of this. So just try to understand. It's a very short lecture. You must have all seen this cotton candy machine or eaten this cotton candy earlier. So this open end concept is basically to a large extent based on this concept. So let me just explain you. First take a look at this video, and then I will explain you the correlation between this and the open end concept. So here it is. Yeah. So what you saw here was the man. He is holding a small stick onto which he is collecting the sugar fibers that are coming out from that machine. So here the stick on which the candy is being collected, let us imagine that to be, let us call it a CDN, and a CDN is a must when you begin open end spinning, and the candy fibers are actually being thrown onto this stick. And what the man is basically doing is he's just collecting these sugar fibers onto this rotating stick. He's at the same time, if you observe, he's rotating the stick and trying to take on those fibers onto the stick. So these fibers are being thrown onto the stick, on this rotating stick, and because because of the rotation that is being given here, there is some amount of twist being inserted into the fibers that are being collected. So you can see there is this sugar fibers which are being collected in the form of a sort of a sliver that we know of. At the same time, as he's rotating the stick, what is happening is whatever the sliver is being formed, it is getting uh, withdrawn from that area and is being say wound up onto the stick. So twisting and winding is happening at the same place at the same time, because the man is doing it with his hand, he's rotating it. So this is the basic idea of open end spinning. So let us just go ahead. In the case of open end spinning, all the 5 systems that are being subclassified under open end that we are going to learn, there what is done is the feed is the sliver. The fibers in the form of a sliver is being fed into the machine, and what we get as an output is the yarn. So unlike the ring spinning system where we have the roving frame as a intermediate stage between draw frame and ring frame, we have eliminated the roving frame entirely. So here whatever sliver we get from the draw frame is being fed directly to this open end spinning machines, and we get a yarn. So basically when you see, there are 3 steps involved here. The first one is, since it is in the form of a sliver, it needs to be opened out to the fiber level. So there would be some sort of opening mechanism which will open the fibers to the individual fiber level. The second step is to, once these fibers are opened up completely, they would be directed or thrown onto some kind of collecting or reassembling device. In the cotton candy case, it was a stick, whereas here it is going to be a seed yarn. These fibers are being thrown onto the seed yarn. There will be some kind of twisting and withdrawing mechanism to make the yarn package. So these are the basic 3 steps that are involved. It's very simple. The fibers in the sliver form are first opened out to its individual fiber level, then they are being collected onto the seed yarn, and the seed yarn is continuously rotating and is being withdrawn at the same time, and you're getting new yarn which is being formed, is being wound onto a package. So this is a diagram which could simply explain. This would be your seed yarn, which is already a small short length of yarn which is being fed here. And what happens is, on the other end, and it's where it is open, there the fiber supply is done, and since this yarn is rotating and is being withdrawn at the same time, it will move in this direction from right to left. It is being withdrawn on this side, and as it is being withdrawn, the new fibers get joined here, they get twisted here, and you're getting continuous length of yarn. So this again, it's a sort of repetition. A constant stream of separated individual fibers is allowed to flow to a rotating yarn end. The brush-like open-end yarn grasps these fibers brought into contact with it and continuously binds them into the yarn with the aid of a continual rolling movement. The continuously formed yarn has only to be withdrawn now and taken up onto a cross-bound package. So this is the basic concept. So whatever system we know up till now, which is the ring spinning system, what is the difference between that ring spinning system and open end system? The only and the major difference is that in all other spinning processes that we know of, simply that is, which is the ring spinning, there it is uninterrupted stream of fibers which are made to proceed continuously. That means there is no break anywhere. If you see from blow room, it proceeds to the card in the form of a sliver, and once the the sliver is made, the sliver proceeds further on to the draw frame, where this in the sliver form itself is going on to the speed frame. When it goes on to the speed frame, again that same is being drafted and made into a yarn. So it's a continuous process where there is the fibers are not opened out into its individual form at any stage. Whereas in open end spinning, this flow of fibers is interrupted, the strand is opened up, the sliver strand is opened up completely into individual fibers, and again it is being recollected onto a rotating yarn end by making the fibers, or rather directing the fibers towards the yarn end. The yarn end will grasp these fibers which they are brought into contact with and continuously binds them into a yarn with the aid of continual rolling movement. So this is the basic difference. I hope it is clear. Beyond this, whatever 5 systems we are going to see, all of them will have the same concept, underlying concept. There will be only with a slight difference. That also I will just point out in a few minutes. So we go to the next slide here. And so what kind of open end spinning systems are we going to learn here? The first one is the rotor spinning. As I already mentioned, this we are going to study in detail. So after all the other alternative spinning systems are over with, I will be taking this particular rotor spinning in detail in the end. The second system is the electrostatic spinning. Third, air vortex spinning. Fourth, friction spinning, and disc spinning. So these are the 5 systems which are subclassified under open end spinning, having the same concept, wherein the fibers are open to the individual fibers and recollected to form the yarn. So they are only, the difference between them is that only the collecting or the reassembling method or the device would be different. So as we go further into these lectures, as we study each one of them in detail, you will come to know the difference between each of the spinning systems that is there. And at the same time, we will try to understand each and every row and column in the table that we saw earlier. So this is it today, friends. Thank you very much.